Personal finance can feel totally overwhelming, right? Like you're sitting in a cockpit with a million flashing lights and dials. But what if I told you that to really truly get a handle on it, it all boils down to just two numbers? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to cut through all the noise and show you exactly what they are.
Okay, let me ask you something, and be honest. Do you really know if you're moving forward or backward financially each month? If you're like most people, the answer is probably, I'm not really sure. We kind of just hope for the best, and that's a scary place to be. It feels like you're flying blind.
Well, that's about to change. We're going to give you a framework that's so simple but so incredibly powerful that it puts you firmly back in the pilot seat, and it all comes down to just two numbers that tell you everything you need to know about where you are right now and, more importantly, where you're headed.
All right, so what are these two magic numbers? Well, before we get to that, we've got to bust a huge myth about money. It's an idea that traps millions of people, and it's probably something you've thought yourself.
You've heard this a million times, right? If I just got a raise, if I just made more money. The belief that a bigger paycheck is the cure-all for financial problems. And look, I get it. It sounds right. But here's the thing, it's just not the full picture. Not even close. Okay, so check this out. This really puts that whole idea to the test. On the left, you've got someone making $100,000 a year. Sounds great, right? But they spend even more. They are literally going backward financially every single year. Meanwhile, the person on the right, making half as much, is actually building wealth. See? It's not about how big your paycheck is. It's about how much of it is left at the end of the day. That's the game changer.
And that idea of what you keep leads us perfectly into our first critical number. I want you to think of this one like a snapshot, a single, crystal clear photo of your financial life at this exact moment. It's your net worth.
The idea here is actually really, really simple. All you do is take everything you own and subtract everything you owe. The number you're left with is your net worth. No hiding, no guessing. It is the raw, honest truth of where you are financially right this second.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty for a second. On one side, you've got your assets. This is all the good stuff, right? Cash in the bank, savings, what your car is worth, your 401k, you get the idea. And on the other side, you've got liabilities. This is what you owe people, that credit card bill, student loans, the car loan. And the formula couldn't be easier. Assets minus liabilities. That's it. That's your net worth.
All right, let's put some real numbers to this so you can see how it works. Let's say you sit down, you open up a spreadsheet, and you add up everything you own. You got some cash, a little bit in retirement, the car, and it comes out to $25,000.
Okay, now for the less fun part. You take a deep breath and you list out all your debts. When you add it all up, the student loans, the car loan, the credit cards, it comes to $45,000. So, what's the verdict? We take the $25,000 in assets, subtract the $45,000 in liabilities, and, yep, we get a net worth of negative $20,000. And I know, seeing a negative number can feel like a punch to the gut. But just hang on, because this next part is maybe the most important thing you'll hear today. It is completely normal to start out with a negative net worth. Seriously. Especially with things like student loans. This number is not a grade on your life. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's just a dot on a map. It's your starting line. The only goal is to make sure the next dot is in a better place. Okay, so if net worth is the snapshot, the you are here map dot, how do you actually move? How do you make sure the next snapshot looks better? Well, that brings us to the second and final number. I like to call it the engine. It's your cash flow. And just like net worth, the idea is super simple. It's what comes in every month minus what goes out. So think about it this way. Net worth tells you your past. It's the result of all your decisions up to now. Cash flow? That tells you your future. It's your trajectory. And to really get how these two numbers dance together, I've got the perfect analogy for you. It sounds silly, but just picture a simple bathtub. Okay, so the water level in that tub, that's your net worth. It's how much you've got right now. And the water coming in from the faucet and going out the drain, you guessed it, that's your cash flow. That's the engine. So you can see how this works, right? The faucet is your income. It's filling the tub. The drain, well, that's your expenses, pulling water out. So if your faucet is flowing faster than your drain is draining, the water level goes up. Your net worth increases. But if that drain is pulling out more water than the faucet can replace, the level drops. It's really that simple. Let's put some numbers on this bathtub. Look at the person on the left. They've got a positive cash flow of $150.
Their faucet is winning. That extra water, that surplus, can be used to pay down debt or invest, which makes the water level, their net worth, go up month after month. Now look at the person on the right. They're negative $300. Their drain is winning. Every month, the water level in their tub is getting lower. Their net worth is going down.
And there you have it. When you put these two numbers together, your net worth and your cash flow, they tell you everything. They tell your complete and honest financial story.
So let's recap, because this is the whole thing right here. Net worth is your scoreboard. It's what you own minus what you owe. It tells you the score of the game right now. Cash flow is your engine. It's what comes in minus what goes out. It determines your direction and your speed. And here's the key. Over time, your engine always determines your scoreboard. Always. Forget the million other things. These are the only two scores that truly matter. Look, when you sit down and actually calculate these two numbers for yourself, the truth might be a little jarring. It might not be what you wanted to see. But that's the point. These numbers don't have an agenda. They don't lie. They just give you the facts. And knowing that truth, that's where all the power is. That's the first step to actually changing things.
So think of your net worth and cash flow today as just chapter 1. That's it. It's just the beginning of the story. But the beautiful thing is, you're the one holding the pen. So the only question left is, what happens in chapter 2? What story are you going to write next?